Is it live or is it Memorex? Remember that commercial? The one with the kid sitting in a chair and his hair blowing straight back. All right. I'm going to read one chapter, maybe two, but probably just one, because I want to get back on some other issues that I feel are important, pressing, whatever you want to call it. So, alrighty, here we go. We interrupt this program, and now a word from our sponsor. Which, speaking of, I heard from him, my sponsor, one of my sponsors. No, somebody with a product, the only person with a product that supported me that I can think of. An actual product for sale. That's Nathan Snow with the Blueberry Repose, the vinegar honey mix. That was pretty cool stuff. Anyway, haven't heard anymore. I forgot to ask him about it, and he didn't bring it up. We were talking about other things. So, one of them being the moon. I don't know what got him into it, but he's actually studying the whole question of the calendar and in relation to Sabbath worship and feast days. So that's pretty cool. One thing I did point out, like, you know, you talk about, I've talked about before about the, start watching the moon. Start watching it as best you can. You know, look at it during the day. Make observations and write them down. You know, everybody can do this. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and the sun is in the sky at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The moon is in the sky at about, 10 o'clock, where the sun was at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's trailing the sun. They're both in the sky at the same time. Does this make it seem ridiculously impossible for the Earth to be in between the sun and the moon when they're both up in the sky at different angles? Okay? And there's times when here's the sun and the moon's right there by it, so. Anyway, observations like that, which just give the lie, the total lie, to the cosmology and the way the universe is constructed and what it's all working at. We can all do experiments. We can all make observations. We can all learn with our own eyes. Look at with your own eyes, not with somebody else's, and then process. It's really hard. You got to go from your eyes to your brain. You understand how ridiculous, how asinine it is for us to believe something that has been told to us that has absolutely no validation and no proof whatsoever in reality, with physics, anything, none whatsoever. And we believe that, even though we can see with our eyes that the moon's here, come up there, and the sun came up there, and they went like this in a big circle, and they're setting over there. Okay, something I observed at Pentecost one time, or Passover one time, and got thrown out of the pulpit while reading Torah at a supposedly Torah observant gathering at Passover, when I was told that it was free for any man to speak his mind. Now, problem with it is, any man. They did not allow any women to speak at all, ever, in public. Most of the women are smarter than the men. That's why they do that. I think anytime you have a situation like that, that's the reason for it. My wife is smarter than me. I sure as hell ain't gonna let her talk in public. So anyway, not always the case, but in this case, probably very definitely the case. So anyway, but the sun and the moon were both coming up at about northeast, about due northeast, like a 45-degree angle from the building. They came around and they set at about a 45-degree angle to the building on the west. Hello. They went in a circle around the earth in the same path. There is video of a time-lapse video. Now you take time-lapse and you speed it up, and then it's a high-speed time-lapse. That is where you want to get to. I'm sorry, I'm getting off on... Too bad. Get off on bunny trails. But anyway, there's a arc, okay. Um, yeah. Syrup. Anyway, imagine an arc, like, okay, from here to here, and the stars are going in that arc. This is a film from Antarctica, and then here's the moon going in that exact same arc at the same speed. Here's the sun going in the exact same arc at the same speed. What do you think, class? Do you think they're all at about the same height? And do you think they're about the same altitude? And do you think they're all moving at the same speed? And there's, what the heck do you think an eclipse is, you know? If that's what it is. You know, they're both moving pretty close to the same. One's moving just a little bit faster than the other. It's exactly what you see. They're in the same arc, pretty much. Anyway, long story short, observation. So, bunny trail, I can actually remember where I came from. Nathan Snow. Okay. God bless Nathan Snow. Thank you. He's been one of the, for the first 2 years of my incarceration. No, I mean my saga, my homeless saga after being divorced after 38 years of marriage. And I was talking to a sister this week, and about the fact that, you know, I mean, most people take a vow at marriage that till death do us part. Pretty typical. The pastor that married us, Lou Monacovo at Redeemer Temple in Denver, Colorado, would not allow us to say that. He changed it. He changed the wording slightly. What we vowed was that, you know, for better or worse, richer for poorer, da-da-da-da-da, until God by death shall separate us. So that's the vow that I took. That's the vow that my wife Elaine took, and we'll see. You know, maybe that'll come back around. So, as far, one friend of mine, Bill, says, you know, I'm kind of I don't want to always say this, but, you know, kind of father figure, because I learned so much from him about clearing land and stuff, and homesteading and building stuff, and survival and whatnot. But, you know, he says, didn't you take a vow to, you know, till death do us part? And I said, yeah, kind of, you know, in so many words. He says, you know what? As far as I can see, you're both still breathing. And I was like, true story. So anyway, all right. So, you know, today was Father's Day, so spare me, you know, or give me a break. I did talk to one of my 5 children, and none of my grandkids. So 12 grandkids. I think one of them could have called. But anyway, and I had determined ahead of time I'm not going to, you know, make a big deal of it or be upset. You know, I'm just, it is what it is, and it's going to work out as it works out. You know, I'm praying for restoration and healing and freedom, you know, for that prison door to open for those that are bound. He sets the prisoners free. Well, I want to see that happen. I want to see, you know, Elaine set free. So, kind of surprised my son-in-law didn't call, though. And it's too late to call. Anyway, so about it. I think I'll just do an update. That's what it is, update here, and I'll just send this one out, and that'll way it'll load quicker and without making it a lot longer. So yeah, some pretty cool things. I'm going to read some. I read my story about the fencing, hitting that fencing. I've got a couple updates here. One by Countryman that's pretty cute, and some information from John, Porcupine Ranch in Arizona, who's moving out here. So hallelujah. All right, I'm going to end this one. Thank you. If you're listening to this, you are the remnant. All right, good night. Bye-bye.